Hey awesome people, memberships are live now on my YouTube channel. Get exclusive content, early access to new videos, live streams and much more. Hit that join button and become a part of inner circle. Let's grow, learn and create together. Hey everyone, welcome back to AG Motion Designs. In today's video, we are diving into how to create this awesome Adidas logo reveal animation inside of Blender. If you're excited about motion graphics and want to level up your skills even more, make sure to check out my exclusive Udemy courses. The links are available in the description. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss an update. Alright, let's jump straight into tutorial and bring this animation to life. Okay, so here we are in Adobe Illustrator. Now I have created one blank document. Height width is 1920 by 180. Okay, and then you need to select your logo and make sure that your logo is in a black format and in PNG format as well. So simply bring that logo in Adobe Illustrator like this, and after doing that simply click on this image trace option and then choose expand and right click and choose ungroup. Now we need to delete some portions like this. If you see there is a blank portion, or you can simply click on this down arrow, and over here whenever you will see the path which is blank, simply by holding shift select those path and delete those path. I'll select this one as well. Similarly I'll select this one and delete as well. So now if you see we will get only vector layers. Okay, and then we need to save this file. After saving this file in Illustrator format, then press Ctrl Shift S again, and over here we need to choose SVG format, and you can call this as logo SVG and simply hit OK, and don't change anything over here and simply hit OK. Now it is saved. Now we will open our Blender, and as you guys can see by default we have one cube, one camera and one light. We will simply press hit A and simply delete all of this. Then I'm gonna go in file options and I'll choose import, and we need to choose scalable vector graphic, which is SVG. Simply click on this and select your logo SVG file and simply hit import, and don't forget to save this file. So hit Ctrl S after each and 1 minute. Okay, then if you zoom in, as you guys can see we have this much size, but this is not enough, so we need to increase it. So I'm going to press 7 to see this stuff in top view. Select all of this and press S for scaling option and scale at appropriate size. Then press G and try to bring this properly at the center. After that hit Ctrl J. Make sure to select all of this and hit Ctrl J over here to make all of this in a one format like this. Let's select this and hit Ctrl J. As you guys can see, after hitting that, all of them are now in one curve. And if you see the center of mass is at this point, so simply right click, go to the set origin and choose origin to geometry, so it will automatically come at over here like this. Again you can choose set origin to geometry. After that hit Ctrl A and choose all transform for this object. Hit Ctrl A again and choose all transform. But right now if you see, because it's in 2D curve, it's not gonna get that. Okay, so we will do that later. After that let's select this stuff over here, and now we need to go to the data, and right now it's 2D. Let's convert this into 3D, so we will get this splines over here, splines, or you can say curve over here. After that we need to animate this stuff, and we need to give a proper curve over here. So now I'm going to select this curve and I'll hit Ctrl C Ctrl V to I'll get this another curve. Let's bring it in logo over here. Let's double click on this and we will call it as solid logo over here like this, and we will choose 2D for this, and we will hide this stuff for now. We don't need that now. And we will select this curve and we will call it as geo nodes. Okay, because we are going to apply geometry nodes over here. After that let's select this geo nodes layer and we will go to the geometry node setup, And now we need to apply simple geometry node setup over here. So simply click on new, so it will create our setup. Now this is our curve and we need to make this into solid uh, stuff. So hit space bar and choose curve to mesh, which is over here, and let's click, link it over here. Now we need to decide which mesh that we need to substitute on this splines, or you can say curve. So type circular curve over here or curve circle and bring this over here, and let's link with profile curve. Now as you guys can see, the size is too much, so let's choose radius. I'm going to choose 0.005 like this over here, so we'll get something like this. I think we need to make this more, so let's make this 0, uh, 3, 0 and 5, and if you see, we will get this kind of stuff. I think this is very small, so let's make this not too much, but let's say 1, or let's make this 201. I think this much look good. Okay, so 201, we will get this kind of portion. And now because we need to animate like trim path or something, so in between these I'll hit space bar and I'm going to choose trim curve, and let's try to bring this over here. And yeah, if you see, if you increase and decrease the start and value, you will get this kind of animation. Okay, so I'm going to select this start plug and I'll bring this in group input, so we will get that plug over here as well. So now you can animate and control this from here. Okay, so now let's go to our layout mode and we will try to animate this stuff. So initially let's select this and go to the our modifiers, and we have the start node. Let's make this properly 1 and create one keyframe. I'll go somewhere around 120 or let's say 160, and I'll make this 0 and create another keyframe. So if you see this now, we will get this kind of animation over here like that. Okay, now we need to create duplicate of it, but before that we need to create our solid logo as well. So let's enable our solid logo layer. Let's select this solid logo and go to the data, and if you go to the geometry over here, you will get this options extrude. By holding shift, I'm going to adjust the size of it, so somewhere around up to this. Okay, I think this much size is enough, so let's press 1, press Z, and let's go to the solid view only. Let's select this GZ and try to bring this over here like that. Okay, now let's select this, go to the material option, and let's delete this material and we will apply another white material to this one. Okay, just for now. Now after that, let's select this curve over here, our geonode curve. Let's go to the data over here. We are getting something like this. Now if we need to increase, if I increase this offset value over here, let's see what we can get. We are not gonna get anything specifically at this point, so let's keep it as it is. We will change this. I'm going to select this solid logo. Let's go to the geometry option, and if you increase this offset value, as you guys can see, we will get something like this. So let's make this 0 initially, and by holding shift, I'm going to reduce this to somewhere around like this. Okay, or I think we don't need to do that. Let's simply keep it as it is. Okay, now after that we need to select this portion, which is our geometry node portion, and let's go to the front view, and we need to create duplicates of it. So let's hold alt Z so we can see through all of this, and we need this geo nodes up to the height of this logo. So let's select this and shift D Z, and by holding control try to bring this over here. Again press shift D Z, and by holding control try to bring this over here. Now you can press shift D Z, and by holding control bring this over here. Shift D Z, and by holding control move this, and we need to do this for a few times. Shift D Z, and by holding control try to bring them up. Shift D Z, by holding control try to bring this up. Okay, this much looks good to me, and hold alt Z. So our portion is ready now. I think this much looks good to me. Now I can select this geo node setup over here like this. You can go to the geometry nodes and if I increase this curve radius, you will get something like this. So let's make this somewhere around 2 maybe. Okay, this looks good to me. If I make this 3, we'll get something like this. So let's make this one only, not too much. Okay, now let's go to the layout mode. Now basically we need to adjust the setup, so let's select this solid one and let's hide this just for now. So we will get something like this. Let's see at the end how does it look at 60. If I enable the solid logo, we will get something like this. Okay, now we need to make this one by one. So first of all, let's select this portion and let's select this and change this color to white color like that. Okay, so if you see, we will get something like this. Now let's select this bottom one and keep it as it is. I'll go to around 10, select this one. I'll select those keyframe and I'm going to move this over here. Let's go to the 20, select the second one, select those keyframe and let's move this over here. Select this one, select those keyframes and let's move this to 30. This one is from here, this one is from here, this one is from here, and this one is from here. So let's go to 40, select this geonode, select this and let's move this over here. Then go to around 50, select this fifth one, select this and move this over here. Go to around 60, select this sixth one and let's move this over here. Go to around 7th one, select this, move to 70. 80, select this one, let's move this over here. Go to around 90, select this one, let's move this over here and let's change this end value to 600 because we want much more duration. Select this one, 10th one, let's go over here, select all of them and let's move this over here like that. Go to around over here, select this one, select those and move this over here. Go to around 120, select this one, let's move this over here. Okay, I think 12s are enough. Let's select those last two and we will delete those layer, we don't need that. And let's enable our solid logo like this. Okay, let's enable the size of this. Okay, now as we need our logo should start to appear at this point from 60, so let's press 1 or press shift, or let's bring this over here, press shift A, go to the mesh and we will add one plane over here and press S for scaling the size totally up to like this. Then press 1 and make sure that it's properly touching the ground. If it's not, simply press GZ and try to make it touch the ground like this. After that, select our solid one, press GZ and try to bring this somewhere up to this in such a way that should be visible from here like this. Okay, and then from 60 frames I want it should go up, so let's go to the object and let's create one keyframe at Y position. Then as the animation goes forward like this, I think we have created keyframe on long one, we need to create keyframe over here. So let's hit Ctrl Z and let's delete keyframe. We will create keyframe on Z on 60. As it goes further at this animation, somewhere around at this point it should go upward, so let's try to bring this over here up to this and create another keyframe. So if I see this now, I'll get this and then I'm gonna get this. Okay, so as you guys can see, this portion is ready now. We will try to apply materials to it, but I don't think we need much more material. Press Z and choose material preview, and I think white material is good for this animation. We don't need to add much more. In only if you want, you can select this plane over here, create new material, and you can apply black material to this. And if you want, you can select this one, uh, the solid one, and you can apply black material to that as well if you want. Okay, but I would prefer to choose white one only because that looks awesome. So let's select this one and let's choose white material for this. Okay, or you can select, do one thing, you can select this one, I mean this bottom one, and you can choose white material for that as well. Okay, so that looks quite good. Okay, so let's see, we'll get something like this, but I think then we will not get that revealing effect over there. So let's do one thing, we will go with the black one only. Let's select this and choose black color for this. Okay, so we will get something like this. Okay, now we need to add lights to our scene. So press go to the render view, go to the render engine, and I'm going to choose EV rendering only, and press shift A, go to the lights and choose area light, and press S to increase the size. Go to the top view, press G, and let's try to bring this over here. Then press R and let's rotate it like this. Then go to the front view, press R and let's rotate it like this. Then press GZ and try to bring this over here. Go to the top view, press R and again rotate it like this. Okay, so now if you see, we are getting something like that. Press G and try to move this over here. Then go to the light and let's make this power 1000 like this. So if you see, we are getting this light. Okay, then go over here, press shift D and try to bring this over here. Press R and let's rotate this light over here like this. You can make this power a little bit more like this. Then select this two, press shift D and try to bring this over here. Press R for rotation and rotate it like this over here. Now if you see this, we will get something like this. Now I'm going to minimize this and let's select this light and let's hide a few lights if we don't need that, like this, or let's hide this one. Okay, let's select this light and let's decrease the light somewhere around like this, or let's make this 100 only, or let's make this 200 only. Okay, this looks good to me. If you go to the render and render image, because there is no camera over here, so we cannot render it now. Okay, we'll get something like this. So now let's try to add our camera and we will try to animate our scene. Okay, so first thing first, press shift A, go to the camera and choose camera and hit 0, and let's adjust the camera position. Then press N on your keyboard, go to the view options and choose camera to view, and let's zoom out our camera like this. Okay, over here, and let's right click new collection and let's call it as camera and bring that camera over here. Let's minimize all of this. Now let's select this camera and go to the start, and we will try to animate our camera. So let's go to the object and we will create keyframe on all of this, then go few frame forward up to, let's say, 120 over here like this, and I'm going to move this camera like this, and by holding shift I'm going to move this camera like this as well, and again create keyframe on each and every one. Okay, so now if you see, we will get something like this. Then I'm going to select all of this, right click, keyframe interpolation mode and choose linear. Okay, I'll get to see something like this. Okay, now along with this I'm gonna go in data, I'm going to enable depth of field. Let's choose f-stop around 1, or let's say 0.5, and let's adjust the focus distance to somewhere around like this, If you make this f-stop 0.01, and you can adjust this focus distance like your needs. So let's go to the start and create one keyframe at focus distance. Go somewhere around 120 over here. Let's increase the make sure to choose focus distance somewhere around over here. Create another keyframe. Let's make this f-stop 0.05 or something. So if you see this now, we will get something like this. Okay, I think this is too much, so let's make this 0.2. Okay, I think this much is enough. We'll get something like this over here, and then I'm gonna go somewhere around over here and make sure to save this file and hit 0 to get out of camera view, and press shift A, go to the camera and hit 0 again to, and then click on this camera icon, so it will automatically move over here. Then zoom out, and this time I'm going to add camera in different direction somewhere around over here like this. Okay, and then we'll go to the object properties of camera. We'll create keyframe on each over here, then go somewhere around at this point, and let's move this camera from here to here and create another keyframe each. Okay, select those keyframe, right click, keyframe interpolation, choose linear. Okay, we will get something like this. Similarly for this one, enable depth of field, and let's choose f-stop 0.2 and adjust the focus distance from here. Create one keyframe, go over here, move this focus distance to somewhere around over here and create another keyframe. Okay, like this. Now let's see this camera. Go to the start and let hit play. I think we need to zoom our camera a little bit, so you can go to the camera options and you can choose focal length a little bit over here and go to the start. You'll get something like this. Go to the end keyframe and let's choose focus distance to somewhere around over here and create another keyframe. Okay, so what will happen that it's not gonna get complete revelation of our logo like this. Okay, this animation is up to 120, and for this camera, which is our second one, it's going to start from over here 1110. We will over here as well, we will increase the focal length to somewhere around over here, and let's change the focus distance to somewhere around over here. Create one keyframe, go to this point and change the focus distance to somewhere around over here. Create another keyframe. Okay, so if you see this animation over here, we will get something like this. Now I'll go somewhere around 160 and hit 0 to get out of this camera view, and let's save this file. We will add our third camera now, so press shift A, camera, hit 0, and this time make sure that you will click on this icon of this camera 002, and let's zoom out and go to the camera properties. Let's select all of this value, hit 0 0 0 0 0 as well as the 0, and zoom out like this, and make sure that your camera should be at this point properly. Okay, and if you see, we will get all of this animation. Okay, we'll go somewhere around at this point over here, and logo is gonna get completed at this point. So select your camera, and we need to move this on z-axis, so let's create one keyframe at z-axis, goes around 120 or somewhere around over here 120. We need to move this upward, create another keyframe, and let's select this keyframe and let's move this to 160, and this animation should start from 160 over here. Okay, like this. So now if you see our first camera, if I go to the start, we will get this animation from 0 to 120 frame. Then for our second camera, we will get somewhere around like this animation up to 200 frames, and for our third camera we will get this animation of completing all of this. If you want, you can select those keyframe and you can move this up to this as well. Like you can see this animation from 80, you will get this animation like this. Okay, so this is also fine if you want. Okay, and select those keyframe, right click, interpolation mode and choose linear. Okay, like that. Now let's save this file, and now what we need to do over here is this: we need to render out this animation. So first let's select this camera over here, go to the start, and for this one I need to render it out from 1 frame to 120 frames. So let's make this start 1 and end frame 120 like this. Then we need to go to the render settings, make sure to choose EV, then output 1920 by 180, start frame, end frame. Then we need to adjust the location of this animation. I'll adjust my location. Okay, adjust location and choose expect. Okay, so all the things are done. Make sure to choose RGB mode and all of this, and now you need to click on render animation, so it will start to render your animation like this. And this is how we need to adjust render settings for each and every camera, so we will get animation for each and every area. And after this animation is gonna done for each and every camera angle, we will go to After Effects and we will try to animate this one by one. Okay, so I have rendered out all the scenes over here. If you see, I have created 3 folders which consist of all the renders which I got from all these 3 cameras. Now I'll go to the Adobe After Effects and I'll create a new composition, and I'm going to call it as main animation. And just because I'm comfortable with After Effects, that's why I'm using it. If you are comfortable with Premiere Pro or any other editing software, you can use that as well. We are not going to apply much more effects in it. We just like to trim this little bit and adjust properly. Okay, I'll choose grid and guide option. Then I'll press Ctrl I to import my scene files. I'll go to the first folder, I'll select first image, and I'll make sure that I'm going to click on this PNG sequence icon and simply click import and bring this layer over here. Okay, like this. And if I hit play, I don't know why it's getting hanged. Okay, so as you guys can see, we will get our animation over here, and I'm going to move it up to 3 seconds only. So let's go to around 3 seconds. I'll press Ctrl I again, and I'm going to select my second scene and make sure to click on this PNG sequence and bring this over here. And with the help of open square bracket, I'll move this up to this. Go to around 6 seconds. I'll press Ctrl I again. I'm going to select my third file. I'll select this, import PNG sequence, and I'll bring this over here. With the help of open square bracket, adjust it over like this, and let's move this over here and hold alt open square bracket to trim up to this. And at 9 seconds I want this animation should get ended, so I'll hit N over here. So if I see this animation, I'm gonna get something like this. Now I'll right click new and create one adjustment layer, and I'm going to simply apply brightness and contrast and double click to apply. Let's increase the contrast up to 30 or even more than that, so we will get something like this. And let's decrease the brightness a little bit, not too much, so let's make this -15 or somewhere around like this. So I'm gonna get this kind of animation which is going to happen over here like this. Okay, now select all of them, press Ctrl Shift C, and I'm going to call it as animation and hit OK. Then press Ctrl Y and we are going to call it as mask, and select your second layer and choose alpha mask. And just to give this feel cinematic look or film kind of look, I'll select this mask, I'll press S, unlink this, and I'll make this scale 85. Okay, so now if you see this animation, we will get that animation in a proper cinematic look. Okay, like this. So yep, this is how you can create this kind of logo reveal animation inside of Blender, and with the help of Adobe Illustrator as well, and with the help of After Effects as well.